I love the game's Remedy Entertainment releases, which is why I was so excited for FBC Firebreak. It's intriguing to see such a great studio take on a 3-player co-op first-person shooter, and as soon as they showed it off that it was set in the same universe as Control, I was in. After playing it, I can say that it's a blast, and while I wish there was more content, it's a solid shooter that is a ton of fun with friends. However, in this video, I'm going to be going over how FBC Firebreak runs on the Steam Deck and whether it's good to play on the go. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that like and subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified as soon as our next video goes live. Your experience may be slightly better than what you're going to be seeing in this video. And a copy of the game was provided to us by Remedy Entertainment for review. Thank you. Ahead of its release, Remedy Entertainment had a live stream where they confirmed that they're optimizing FBC Firebreak for the Steam Deck, and now that I've had a chance to play it, I can happily say they really did. The default graphical settings look great while keeping a solid 30 frames per second. It honestly works so well that I didn't feel tempted to go into my settings and try to change things. However, after playing a bit, I feel like there should be no changes. While I understand wanting to bring the frame rate up for a first-person shooter or remove upscaling for better quality, the game can get very performance heavy while playing with the highest difficulty, which can bring out tons of enemies on screen. At the default settings, it still holds the 30 frames per second with some slight drops here and there in these scenes, and there's going to be some somewhat heavy battery drain. But it holds at 30 frames per second enough to make me feel the entire experience was smooth and very playable. This could be in part thanks to how each job is in more contained areas instead of open-ended. All of the jobs you have are in these smaller areas, which is more limited render range, and even with 40 to 50 enemies on screen, it's still all in this one area instead of spread out across a sprawling map. And I would say that helps a lot. Overall, I would say Remedy did some magical optimization on it still. The game looks wonderful apart from some shadow aliasing here and there, and it sticks to a steady frame rate even when things get heavy. It's tough to play first-person shooters on the deck with limited power, but this is one shooter that I can fully get behind playing on the go. Remedy deserves praise here, because FBC Firebreak is wonderfully playable on the deck, even with tons of enemies on screen, and shit is hitting the fan. The game also supports 16:10 resolution, so your entire screen's going to be filled, as well as cloud saves and controller support. There are HDR settings, and it does recognize the Steam Deck OLED screen. And I can also confirm that graphical settings are not saved in the cloud, so your desktop PC can have higher quality than your Steam Deck, and it won't interfere when you're cloud saving between the two. FBC Firebreak may not have as much content as I would like to see in a $40 game at launch, but the core gameplay is solid and shows a lot of promise. And with more content planned, I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. It's also a fantastic experience on the Steam Deck, making me feel more inclined to say yes to it anyways, and at this point, I would still recommend it to others. There should be no problems playing on the go, and for a co-op shooter, that's just awesome. FBC Firebreak can be purchased for $40 on Steam right now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified as soon as our next video goes live. And a huge thank you to our patrons. You guys are awesome. See you next time.